Welcome to VBM's Biology. Today let us learn about human reproductive system, fertilization and development of embryo. Okay, before that let us discuss ovulation. What is ovulation? Already we discussed in the previous part. Releasing of ovum from the ovary is called ovulation. In the process of ovulation, one of the follicle in the ovary matures and releases ovum. Out of so many Graafian follicles, one of the Graafian follicle get ruptured and ovum will be released out. The remaining tissue will be developed into corpus luteum, which produces hormones, especially estrogen and progesterone. The released ovum will be extracted into fallopian tube, especially the first part of the fallopian tube, which is called infundibulum. For that, the finger-like projections which are present at the beginning of the infundibulum extract the ovum into infundibulum. From there, it slowly moves forward in the fallopian tube. For the movement of ovum in the fallopian tube, the inner epithelial tissue play an important role. Especially the inner walls of the fallopian tube are lined by ciliary epithelium. The cilia of the epithelial cells enable the ovum to move forward. Meanwhile, if the sperms are entered into the female reproductive system, they reach the ovum into in the fallopian tube, and the process of fertilization occurs inside the fallopian tube. Ovum is surrounded by many sperms, but only one of the sperms successfully fertilizes. How the process occurs is to be known. In the process of fertilization, one of the sperm successfully enters into the ovum. In this process, the structure of the sperm is very convenient for the penetration into ovum. Sperm contains mainly three parts, that is head, midpiece and tail. Head is covered with a small cap-like structure which is called acrosome. This acrosome is filled with so many enzymes, hydrolyzing enzymes, which play an important role in the process of fertilization. When the sperm touches the ovum, this acrosome ruptures and the enzymes are released onto the surface of ovum. The surface is melt and makes a path for the entry of head into the ovum. Especially the nucleus present in the head, which is a haploid containing 23 chromosomes, will enter into the ovum. And the haploid nucleus with the same number of chromosomes present inside the ovum and the nucleus which is entered into the ovum, both of them fuse together, forming a single nucleus with 46 chromosomes. Means diploid nucleus is formed inside the ovum. Now it should be called as zygote, and this process is called fertilization. Fusion of male and female gametes is called fertilization. Here sperm is the male gamete, whereas ovum is the female gamete. After fertilization, gradually zygote moves forward in the fallopian tube and it reaches within 3 to 5 days to the next part, that is uterus. Meanwhile, it undergoes many divisions and zygote will be developed into embryo. Zygote is the single cellular structure where it undergoes many divisions and forms a multicellular ball-like structure which is called embryo. In the process of embryo development, first the egg, means zygote, undergoes a division. As a result, two cells are formed. Later, these two cells undergo one more division. As a result, 4 cells are formed. All these 4 cells undergo horizontal division. As a result, 8 cell stage will be developed. And later, all the 8 cells undergo one more division. Finally, a ball-like structure with the single layered cells is formed, which is called blastula. The cavity present inside is called blastocele, and the total ball-like structure can be called as blastocyst. This blastocyst undergoes so many other changes like invagination and epiboly. As a result, three-layered embryo will be developed. See here various stages of development of embryo while it is passing through the fallopian tube. So here fertilization occurred in the fallopian tube, and after fertilization it is slowly moving through the fallopian tube. While it is moving, it has undergone some changes. See these cell divisions: 2 cell stage, 4 cell stage, 8 cell stage, blastula stage, and later it will be developed into gastrula, and finally it enters into the uterus. Let us see. Embryo which is entered into uterus will be extracted by the walls of uterus. The walls of uterus are lined by special layers which are called endometrial layers. These endometrial layers are very effective as it is always reformed in the process of menstrual cycle. So the cells which are fresh here form a cushion-like structure, and so that the embryo can be easily penetrated into the tissue lined in the uterine wall. Such a fixation of embryo in the uterine tissue is called implantation. During the process of implantation, mainly 3 layers are formed around the embryo. The outermost layer which is formed is called chorion, and the second layer which is formed inside to chorion is called amnion, and the third layer which is formed is called allantois. These 3 layers play an important role in the development of embryo. Let us see about them. Outermost layer which is formed around the embryo is called chorion. So here this slight yellowish color layer is chorion. This chorion is provided with many finger-like projections which are called chorionic villi. These chorionic villi are deeply attached into the walls of uterus, and these play an important role in absorption of nutrients which are required for the development of embryo. Just inside to the chorion there is a second layer which is called amnion. This amnion forms a cavity around the embryo, and this cavity is called amniotic cavity. Inside the amniotic cavity it is filled with a fluid called amniotic fluid. In that fluid, embryo develops freely. And the third layer which is developed is called allantois, that is developed from the gut of the embryo. The third layer, allantois, is developed from the gut of the embryo, and it plays an important role in the formation of umbilical cord. Okay, before that let us see what are the changes which are occurred in the layers. Chorion, which provides nourishment to the embryo, gradually weakens, and in the place of chorion, a deep association between the uterine wall and embryo is developed, which is called placenta. Placenta contains the blood capillaries of uterus, means mother, and the blood capillaries of embryo. Both of them form a network which play an important role in the absorption of nutrients from the mother's body, and at the same time releasing of waste material into the mother's bloodstream. Thus, placenta, the deep association between the uterus and embryo, is formed by the end of 3rd month, and meanwhile 3rd month onwards the embryo should be called as fetus. Gradually the role of allantois will be started. As the placenta develops, allantois will be connected deep with the placenta. As a result, a long cord-like structure is formed, which is called umbilical cord. This umbilical cord plays an important role in the transportation of material between mother's uterine wall and the growing embryo. Thus, fetus develops, and this development takes place with the support of the nourishment provided through placenta. Meanwhile, amniotic cavity increases, and so that the other layers present around it also will be enlarged. Gradually, amniotic layer will become thin, and meanwhile the baby develops all the organs. By the end of third month, all the organs are developed, but they enlarge in size as it grows up to 280 days. The period of time which is taken by the embryo for the complete development inside the mother's womb is called gestation period. Here, in case of human being, the gestation period is 280 days. It will be varied from animal to animal. In case of cat and dog, it is 63 days. In case of horse, it is 330 days. In case of cow, around 380 days. In case of rat and mouse, it is about 20 to 22 days. That the period of time required for the development of embryo in the mother's womb will be varied from animal to animal. Such a period which is taken to develop inside the mother's womb is called gestation period. The longest gestation period among all the terrestrial animals is shown by elephant, which is about 600 days. When it is developed up to 280 days, gradually fetus will be moved down, and the amniotic membrane becomes very thin, and the baby get inverted, means head and hands come towards the cervix, and later the muscular activity at the cervix will be started, which are called labor pains, and due to that labor pains, due to the severe movement of the muscles, amniotic membrane ruptures, and so that the baby is delivered out, which is called parturition. Here we can see various stages of development. See here, these are all various embryonal stages. If we observe embryos of fish, frog, reptiles, aves and mammals, in all these chordates, the early stages are alike. It indicates that all the chordates are developed from common ancestors. Means the study of these embryos also provide embryological evidences for evolution. As soon as the parturition process completed, mother will start producing milk, which is the best feed to the baby. Generally, by the completion of 5th month onwards, some liquid is secreted through the mammary glands of mother, which is called colostrum. That colostrum should be fed to the baby immediately after delivery. Why? Because that provides good immunity power to the baby, as it contains so many antibodies. Development of embryo and parturition is occurred. Let us discuss how the process of menstrual cycle is occurred in the next video.